Okay, so RStudio is going to be our launching pad for our class in all of the projects and homework assignments. RStudio, it's not only provides an editor for us to create and edit our scripts, but also provides many other useful tools. We will be going over some of these concepts or basics of RStudio in this recording. First of all, when you start RStudio for the first time, you're going to see three panes, okay? So the first pane, the left pane, is going to show the console. On the right pane, on the right panes, you're going to see, you see two panes. The top pane includes three tabs or four tabs: environment, history, connections, and tutorial. And the bottom pane shows tabs. We have file, plots, packages, help, viewer, and presentation. You can click on these and see the help packages. We'll be talking about packages. Plots, here where the plots will appear. Files, where you save your files. Yep, and to start a new script, you don't write on console. Okay, the console is the place where your code will be executed, but we don't write our script, our codes here. We write our script when we start a new script. Start our script. So we start our script as a new file. So what happens? We have now four panes. You can play with these panes, by the way. You can change them. You can change the size. Okay. You can minimize. So this is the script. This is the place where we are going to write the codes. Okay. And before we go further, I would like to say something about key bindings. Usually we use mouse to perform tasks, right? But sometimes it's good to use key bindings. For example, if you'd like to create a new script, you can just use Control Shift and on Windows, or you can use Command Shift and on the Mac. So I highly recommend you to memorize these key bindings for the operations you use the most. RStudio, by the way, provides a very useful cheat sheets. So if you go to Help on the top menu, you can look at the cheat sheets. Studio IDE cheat sheet. If you click on this, you're going to get the cheat sheet. So now it's here. Yep. This is cheat sheet. I recommend you to go over this to read all these details. It's very useful to be used. Okay. And as I said, there are many editors made for coding, but here we are using RStudio. RStudio is made for R. And one advantage of the RStudio is that you can test your code easily, and you can, as we edit the script. If you start a new script, the next step is going to be like, you can give it a name, you can save it. So there's a script, you have to save this file. So you can save it. You can give it a name. The name we suggest to have a lowercase letters and use hyphens. Let's say my first code. Choose the location and save this script. Use hyphens to separate the words. And if you notice that this is the place that we saved it, by the way, it's my first code. It's .r. So this is any code you save it in the script is going to be followed by this suffix, which is .r. Okay. So if you close this and you double click open it, so it's going to be opened again. So now let's start typing something. So the first lines of the code I'm going to write is going to be loading libraries that I already installed. So we'll be talking about this in different recording, by the way. But let's first start typing library. So once I start typing, look at, I got this. So this is good that it starts auto-completing the words. So I'm going to tab on tab. So I have library. I'm going to call a library called ISLR. Hold on, ISL. Okay, ISLR2. So actually it helps me. Again, it's auto-completing with libraries that have been installed. So I'm going to choose the second one. Then I'm going to, now this is the second line of the code. So the first line is library, and we will be dedicating another recording talking about libraries. Now I'm going to call some kind of data. Let's say air passengers, okay. So I have another line of code, right? And it helps you with again auto-completing the library or the word that you started with, the library or the data as a function, so you don't forget the closing parentheses, right? So once you run the code, if you run the code, so it appears on the console. Once I run the second code, so because I was in the first line, so it ran only the first line. Now I am on the second line, run the second line, right? And what happened? Something appeared in the right, which is the data. which is the air passengers data. So in console, once you run the code, it's generated in the console. It appears in the R console. The other thing is we can do before we start doing any code is we can change the global options. How to change the global options, how the RStudio look like. We can go to tools, tool panes, right? Then we can, or tools menu. Then we can choose global options, which is at the bottom. So we have a global options, and we can go to appearance and play with these options, themes. This is modern. If you'd like to have sky, you change it. This is ambience, chaos, chrome, clouds. So choose the one that you feel that it's, you like. Okay, so I'm going to use this. We have different themes, either modern or sky. We can change the font and the font size. Apply. Okay, global options. In the workspace, you will find the default setting is restore our data into workspace at startup is going to be checked already. I would like you to take this off, because when you exit R, saves all of the objects you have created into the file called R data. So when you restart the session in the same folder, it will load these objects. So that's why it causes confusion sometimes. So I would like you to take this off and say never, because again, if you have it on, R is going to save these into R data file, and once you restart your computer, you start your session, it's going to load everything again. We don't need this now. So take this off, say never, then apply. Okay. Next recording we will be talking about how to install our packages and talking about libraries.